Okay, guys, I would like you to go to, let me just show you real quick. I'll put this on the screen. To start class with your warm-up, I'd like you to go to student.desmos.com. Once you go to that site, you should know what it looks like. If I was to type it in, it'd be student.desmos.com. And it's waiting for your code, okay? So once you have your code is gonna be right here, okay? MT4WZ7. You've done this before. This is kind of a warm-up to make sure your brain is good to go. You can do this all on your own. Go from slide to slide. You'll know you're correct once I'll even help you with the first one. Oh, I think I can. All right, quadrant 1's over here. Quadrant 2 is right here. You have these in your notes too. Quadrant 3. Sometimes it needs a little help here. Quadrant 3, and then quadrant 4 is down here. Okay, so then you go to the next slide. Once it tells you good job, you've labeled them correctly, move on to the next screen. Don't move on unless it says good job, okay? This one shouldn't be too easy. For these ones, let's make sure you remember the first number tells you left or right. Left would be negatives, right would be positive. So seeing a positive 5 here, I'm gonna grab this and go start here, go positive 5, positive 2, okay? But this one here is positive, but then it's a negative. So I would start at the origin again. Let's see if it lets me grab it. Again, these things sometimes have issues. You just got to kind of deal with it the best you can. There we go. So I start here, I go positive 2, and then it's negative 4, so I'm going to go down 4. Okay. Go through those slides for me, and then go through this slide, go through this one, actually labeling the coordinates. Let me go ahead and label the blue one's a little bit of a curveball. You're going to go left 7. That means negative 7, and you're not going up or down, so it'll be 0, okay? All right, the green, here you'd go left 4, up 3, left 4, which would be negative 4, 3, all right? Then the bullseye, you're going to change the values to kind of just help you figure out if I do 3, comma, what if I did 6? Ooh, that's pretty close. I would like you to even use decimals if you want. What if I did 2.5? All right, see how it gets closer? But I want you to try to get it exactly in the middle, the best you can, using any kind of decimals or whole numbers. You're going to do that again for this one, all right? Keep going. And then hopefully you remember how to do this one. You have 2 coordinates down here. It's hard to see over here because there's all this written stuff, but I would like you to change these coordinates. So if I click here, I got to get right on it. That's 2, 8. See 2, 8? That's 2, 8. And then here is 2, 2. That's right here, 2, comma 2. If I launch it, I want to get the marbles in to hit the star. So I have to change the coordinate, all right? I figured out if I change this one to like a 8, or how about even like a 9, then it'll work, then it'll change and go into there, okay? Ask your partner if you need a little bit of help with these, but there's, I think, 4 of these as well, the marbles, okay? You got to figure out how to solve the little bit of a puzzle. These are different puzzles I want you to figure out, okay? You drop them in here. What are we going to do there? And then this one, and then also this one's kind of the toughest one, all right? So finish this Desmos as your warm-up. Then I would like you guys to, I'll have the sub pause it here, and now we're going to get into our notes, okay? The notes are going to go this way. We're going to draw them this way, all right? These notes are super important for you guys to remember how to do. I'm going to use, actually I don't need it yet. I'm going to use my margin on the top. It's going to be a tree map, okay? It's going to be a tree map, and I have different branches. All right, and then this is going to be type of slopes, okay? Now, we're going to go ahead and write out the words that we're going to deal with, and I think I'll use a different color. Positive, I can I can spell negative, zero, undefined. Okay. And then on the bottom, if you could for me, I would love for you to draw me some lines. Graphs. Draw me some graphs. If you have your index card, I think the sub may still have some to give you. If you would like, instead of a ruler, this is kind of like our bootleg ruler we can use. Let me see how big I made it too. Cool. I like to try to make it as neat as possible. So guys, the whole goal of these notes is to use them again, right? So when you struggle with this concept, I would hope you'd be at home and you would open up your notes and be like, oh, okay, I remember what to do here. And that's going to help out a lot in the long run. Like, what if I gave a quiz on Friday and I said, guess what? It's an open note quiz. That would be super helpful for a lot of you guys because you guys made really clean, good, solid notes. All right. So I'm just almost done. I'm going to do 4 of these graphs. The sub can pause it at any time so I don't go too fast. All right. So now I have 4 different graphs. Now slopes. When you think of the word slope, I go straight to I think of the mountains, and I actually do like to go snowboarding. I'm not crazy, but I don't go crazy fast. I just like to cruise down the mountain. I'm not very good, but I'm not horrible. But I like they have different types of slopes that go straight down, and then slopes that kind of gradually go down. Even when you're going up a slope, you're climbing up a slope too. So it's super important that when you look at these different types of slopes, you're always reading it. You always read it like a book. You're reading it from left to right. You're reading the slope from left to right, and you'll understand what I mean when I start drawing these out. So the first slope is a positive slope, and this is what it looks like. It goes up. Oops. It goes up from left to right. What do I mean? From left to right, it goes up. And I like to say it's good for business. If I was to show you a graph of the business earnings, if this was the business earnings when COVID started, and then as COVID kind of started to, maybe the restrictions lessened in your business that maybe sells, I don't know, merchandise, or maybe you're a restaurant and they finally started opening up restaurants a little more, your sales would go up. That's a positive, right? They would go up, okay? Well, let's do the opposite of that then. I bet right before COVID started, some businesses were doing really well, and then COVID hit, and then look at their sales now. Okay? Their sales went bad. They went from high sales down to low sales. Okay? So these are the 2 most common ones you're going to see. We're going to deal with these a ton. Now, what about these 2? These are your special cases. These are the weird ones. These are the ones we have to know about. This one you can't even really associate with business. It doesn't make any sense. Actually, no, sorry, this one doesn't make any sense. This one does have a little bit of associated with business here. Let me show you. So if I was to say this is a business earnings from quarter 1 to quarter 2 to quarter 3, whatever day, month 1, month 2, month 3. All right. Are they making money? This is making money. No. Are they losing money? Well, no. Are they kind of staying even? That's what they kind of are. So this is a 0 slope, okay? And then our last one, looking at these, you may be able to guess it's going to go straight up and down. All right? So those are our types of slopes. You're going to have to memorize these, all right? Now, as we keep looking through these, let's go ahead and look at the bottom and see how we can handle this. What if I said, I would love for you to draw out at least 3 marks on each one. I want you to plot some points. So go -1, -2, and put that point there. That's -1, -2. Okay? And then over 2, up 3, over 2, up 3. You may have to eventually do this where you have a line and you're going to graph it. I mean, you have points and you have to graph the points and then tell me what kind of slope it is. So if you can graph the points correctly, You're good to go. And there we are. Okay. And there's your first one. All right, if you want me to zoom in on that a little bit so you can see it clearly. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and graph 2 points that are going to make it negative, a negative slope. Remember, it's how I read it from left to right. People get mixed up on this sometimes. So from left to right, as I go through the line, left to right, it's going up. Now this one, I'm going to start -2, +4. -2, +4. Now, I shouldn't put a point way up here because that would be a positive slope. I should put a point down here. So I'm going to go over 2, down 3. All right. And okay. And there is my other line. All right. Positive slope, negative slope. Okay. You're going to have a quizzes at the end of class to really enforce this and make sure. I want you guys to get it perfect. I want you guys to get it as best you can to a perfect. If you don't, you can retake it. All right. That'll be your exit ticket. All right. Now that we've dealt with these, let's talk about the zero slope, a flat line. This is a little interesting. So if I was to graph these, I want you to notice the special characteristics of these lines. You're going to see right now. So if I go -2, +3. Okay. Well, I want to put another point here to make it a flat line. I'm going to go over 2, +3. And what do you notice? They both have 3 as their y. And if you notice the line, when I do graph it, obviously it's not graph paper, it's not totally perfect, but when I do graph it, I do create a perfect zero slope. Okay. Now, our last one. I know this is page 2. I just got in my way a little bit. This is undefined. Over 1, up 3. I'm going to go over 1, down 2. Notice they both have the 1 in common, the 1 for the x value, which is going through the 1 on the x. We're going to go over these a lot. Don't worry if you're still kind of like, oh, these are weird. That's fine. Don't worry. All right. 1, 3, 1, -2. There was a lot on here. I want you to make sure you understand. Positive slopes go up, negative slopes go down. How do you know which one goes up or down? The way you read a book, okay? Going up, going down. This is your zero, flat line, and undefined goes up and down, okay? Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully you can handle this. Make sure that we keep our notes clean because you're going to get to use this on your assessment. All right, guys.